Welcome back, ladies and gents. This is Games in Life with a KVK edition, and I am Crusader. And what video wouldn't be complete without a lame monster hit? But let me distract you by the legendary stuffed doll. That's right, this guy will have some pretty boss familiar equipment. So our KVK was pretty good. I think this is probably my highest score ever at 18 mil. Agent got just about 20 mil, and Ajax was right under 35. And as a guild, we scored 164. We went against K130, and they're pretty tough. They got the Red Eagle guild there and a couple other big boys. And so there was a lot of big scores. They scored well over 1,000,000 KVK points. I mean, 1,000,000,000 KVK points. But here's one of my classic famous port and hits. And this one went off fairly well. But one day, I bet you I'm going to record one of these where I get my leader capped. But until then, you'll just have to wait and find out. 491 days, not bad. So this was towards the end of KVK, by the way. But I just wanted to throw it in there because it is such a fun way to play the game. Kind of, throw all caution to the wind. So we held a few forts, we did a few rallies, and I did a lot of solo raiding. After we capped our first fort, which was pretty non-violent because they kind of just left, we found a 250 or 30 million castle with a good bunch of troops in it, decent gear, and so we set up a rally. Filled the rally up fairly quickly, and we're hoping to get a good hit off. And this is really the bread and butter of KVK, in my humble opinion. Finding castles, getting people together to rally, and then, live by the sword, die by the sword. We hit them pretty hard, and it was a good hit. We won the melee, if you will, and I sped my troops back to hurry up and get ready for a second attack, which would have been all infantry. Also, this was, as you'll see here in a second, I just got my solo 3 done, and that was 10 minutes after KVK started. So there's something to be said about going quickly to the kingdom you're against and, bringing the hurt, throwing down the hammer, I don't know how you want to call it, but that's my advice. Get in as soon as it starts because you don't want to spend 25 minutes scouting dead castles. All right, so they call for an infantry rally on this guy, and once my troops get back, I port up so I can get closer, and the dude shields. And I'm like, come on, man. Anyway, we send our troops out, but he shields. And that's just bound to happen. But our next rally, I am going to be interested in what you think about this. I'm going to hold my opinion perhaps maybe in this video and not say anything. But we were in K171, I believe, or I don't remember actually which one it was. And one of our own K150 guilds was holding this particular fort. And, I'm going to support my guild regardless. So you see me hiding my troops right now. But I think the jury is out for me on how I feel about damaging or hitting our own kingdom in KVK. And here is an episode where we went ahead and kicked out one of our own K150 guilds from a fort, and they stood there and they took the hit, and well, they lost pretty bad. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think that. I mean, is it all fair in love and war type of thing, or did we violate some crazy unwritten treaty that says KVK is kingdom versus kingdom, and therefore you should not go against your own guild, kingdom guilds? This really boils down to two philosophies. The first one says we are a kingdom and we should come together and kick butt. And the second one says all is fair in love and war. I would tend to go with the former than the latter, but I'm going to support my guild regardless. And I think that's important. I found a target, and Ajax and I and a couple others went to hit it. And, this is just kind of like a little learning moment for me. I did not give him a really good scout on this. And we didn't want 100 people sending off scouts. So I kind of just told him over guild chat what was there. And I didn't give him the full picture. And we had to hit him more than one or two times. And Ajax, being the Superman that he is, was able to, effortlessly knock him out and get the 0 and get some good KVK points from that. And there's me just saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kind of mess him up there, but it's all good. That's the great thing about Fatal Nation is that, we take our lumps and we kind of move on and have a good time. And this was a pretty fun guild KVK for us. We had fairly good activity on a Memorial Day weekend. And so I don't remember what order this is, but the next attack is Lunar Fort, and I'm this is one of the disappointing things that happens, because you kind of want people to stay and fight. And when they've got they've got 2 million troops in that, and we're sending maybe 2,200. And, you want to make sure that you have battles like this. And while I'm not saying it's, foolish to, stand and fight, or it's, wimpy to pull your troops, sometimes a battle's a battle and you gotta stand and fight it. It's just a game, for heaven's sakes. Troops, you can make them over again, 5,000 in 24 hours or something like that. It's not a big deal. And I'm not saying that Fatal Nation hasn't ever, pulled troops from a rally, but sometimes when it's fairly even like this was, stay and fight and see what happens. And, kind of like the boys from TV1 did. Anyway, we were hit in the last part. I had finished my KVK, and we were hit by Red Eagles, and they pretty much pwned all of us for KVK. But we held our own with them. We stood and fought, and we came out victorious at the end. Hey, comments below. Like, there's the button. We'll see you next time. Cheers.